Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Red Cup Review. Welcome back. We are glad to be back. This is the second week in a row. It's about darn time. What's up, Baz?
What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
How's it going?
Not
Nice
too
Mario hat.
What are we doing?
We have an awesome guest lined up. We have Zach from Diamond Select Toys. This is awesome. I'm super pumped. They just had their big reveal for their 2021 solicitations. There was a video that was out a few days ago. We shared it on the Facebook page. Hopefully you guys have seen it on YouTube. And we're going to joke around with Zach a little bit. We're going to take a look at some of the toys where you guys get a chance to ask questions. This is for you. This is a chance to type in, hey, what's going on with this? Or, hey, what's going on with that? And I'd like to see this and that. And I have a couple of questions for him myself. We'll talk about the process and everything else. Zach, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
All right. So what is it you do at Diamond Select? What's your thing? Like, who are you?
Who am I? Isn't that the question we all ask ourselves? I am the marketing supervisor, so I oversee outreach, getting our stuff in front of more people's eyes, whether that's through influencers or just online reviewers or Instagram photographers, stuff like that. And I also do a lot of copywriting for the company, listings and blogs and stuff like that. We do have a team who handles social media. I interface with them a lot, and I go on the message boards and chat with them, and I occasionally respond to stuff in like YouTube and things like that. A lot of stuff where I interact with people.
Oh, so you're pretty much the face, the guy to go to. We have a question about XYZ. Let's call up Zach, get him on the line, see what he could say,
Yeah, nobody else wants to go on camera, so that's pretty much me. And but we do, the president does answer questions on our website. So if you have like a really burning question that I can't answer, you can go to him and he'll generally give you a pretty good response. And he does it like a weekly blog.
I know that a lot of questions people sometimes ask is, how come this isn't getting made? Or when are we going to see this and that? I mean, those are questions that I see. I know a lot of companies just can't necessarily answer, whether they don't have whether they just don't have the answer, or it's like, hush, San Diego Comic-Con's around the corner, like, wink, wink, or whatever the case may be, So if someone's going to ask a question, how can they frame the question in a way that's something that you guys can answer? Like, what can you tell us?
Oh, gosh. If you ask us if more of certain thing is in the works, usually we'll tell you. Usually we'll say, oh, yeah, there's going to be more of that line. And, that line's on hold, or no current plans for more in that line, things like that. In terms of saying, will you make X character? Usually that's not something we can generally give you a straight up answer about. And, some people are like, oh, hey, when are you going to get this license? Can you get this license? And it's like, if we don't have the license, then, the chance, what are the odds we're going to get it? We could get it tomorrow. We could never get it. It's not usually something that we can say, oh, we're definitely going to get that license or anything like that. And when we're ready to say we have it, then we generally send out an announcement. Right. Yeah, Baz.
Yeah. Baz? How you doing? Yo, Rob, remember that guy who had the Mario hat at the convention, and he asked, like, are you going to make Swamp Thing?
Yeah, that was the Best of the Universe Classics years ago.
I feel like I'm channeling him. So anyway, would you ever think of doing say public domain characters where you don't need a license?
We've done that a little bit with Cthulhu. We did a Cthulhu bust. So I mean, literary stuff isn't out of the question in terms of the public domain comic book characters. I think that might be, I think other companies have played around in that area. So I don't know if necessarily something we would go for, but I think literary stuff is that. I keep pushing for us to do like an Edgar Allan Poe figure or something like that, because the company's based out of Baltimore. I thought that would be perfect, and I thought it would be something people would really be into. But
well, we're from the Bronx, so his house is not far from where we grew up.
Oh, excellent! That's awesome.
Yeah. So.
It's funny you guys mentioned Poe, because I was just reading Grayson the other night. It's my boy, my 10-year-old. Before bed, he wanted a horror story, so I read him The Telltale Heart. So that's pretty cool. Everything coming full circle. So, all right, what would be a collectible that you would want to see made? Like, what hasn't been made that you would like to be, you, Zach, like, okay, I would love to see this. So, like, you got Edgar Allan Poe would, I guess, be your thing you're pushing for?
No, that was just an idea that I had, but that came up when we were talking about public domain. God, I don't know. I was always sad they canceled the Ferris Bueller's Day Off toys that we were going to do a long time ago. But it's tough. A lot of stuff has been made. There's very few like genre properties that have never been tackled, sci-fi, fantasy, stuff like that. So it's tough. It's really tough. I'm excited about the stuff we're doing now. I mean, obviously people have done Lord of the Rings before, but I'm excited for us to take a crack at Lord of the Rings. I like Lord of the Rings. Read all the books. And I haven't really watched Cobra Kai, but we're going to do Cobra Kai stuff. And I like Karate Kid, so that's cool.
That is generation's Lord of the Rings. Cobra Kai is that good, man. It's
I have to remember that. This generation's Lord of the Rings.
No. I'm exaggerating. It's hyperbole. It's the perfect example of like taking an old property and bringing it into the modern time and doing it, and just having respect for it and doing it right.
No, it's the best way you could do it. Taking the actual actors and the actual characters and just aging them up and seeing what their lives are like now. I think that's the way everybody wants to do it, right? Like we do Tron stuff, and I thought Tron Legacy was really great. I liked how they aged up Jeff Bridges and had his son come in, and it was how you want to do a sequel. I don't think it did as well as anybody wanted it to, and we didn't get another one. But
you personally love it. The soundtrack was amazing too.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm a huge Daft Punk fan, so I loved it. And people keep asking if we're gonna do Tron Legacy stuff in our toy line, and I don't know how much more Tron stuff is in the works, but we're gonna do at least that one box set we announced. But we'll have to see. I'd love Tron Legacy stuff. I thought the toys they did do for that were pretty cool with the light up faces and things like that. But I'm not sure if that's something that we would tackle.
How do you guys get back into the idea of, okay, we've already done a round of these characters? I know some of the solicitations for 2021 is like the classic versions of some Marvel characters, right? Like it seems like very Secret Wars-y 1985 style Marvel thing you guys got going on coming soon. So at what point, is there like a boardroom? Do you all sit around and say, okay, what could we do now? How can we reinvent something maybe we've either re-released or do a different spin on something? How does that process work?
If there's a table, I'm not part of it. They ask me my opinion about product stuff, on a semi-regular basis. But in terms of deciding Marvel selects, I had a little bit of a hand in some of the upcoming stuff. Like, they'll ask me, hey, what are fans looking for? And I spend a lot of time on the message board. So I've read some of the polls that they've done. So I think Titanium Man came from a really old request that people had made. It was like it made a top 10 list back in the day. It had been a little while, but it's still going to be a really cool figure when it comes out. Human Torch is one people just asked for forever, and they thought we'd do a good job with like diorama stuff. The Silver Centurion Iron Man, I think, is just a fan favorite that Robert Yee on our development team, one of our product managers, I think he was just really into that armor, and I am too. I grew up reading that era of Iron Man, so I like that armor too. People. Somebody recently, was commenting they wanted more new, really current stuff, and I think that has its place. We're going to do a fairly new character, a modern character pretty soon. But then there's also a lot of people who want classics. You can't make everybody happy all the time, unfortunately.
Well, I love that thing that you guys showed. It's straight Jack Kirby.
The statue, right? No, Claymore did a great job with that. Yeah, it's totally a Kirby thing.
How big are those premier statues? Like those, like that's kind of like your more higher end stuff, right? The new Silver Surfer and Thor you guys got coming out.
Yeah, those are generally 1/7 scale, I believe. Thor and Silver Surfer are from an older statue that we brought back, so they may be a little bit smaller. But our premieres are generally 1/7. Our milestones are generally 1/6, and the gallery dioramas are generally about 1/8. I'm going to bring it up as we're talking about it, like so we get. But there's a big price jump there. Yeah, the premieres are 150. The galleries are only 50, but the premieres are 150, and the milestones generally start around 200. And those are like, all right, like you said, like 6 scale, roughly 7 scale. Yeah. I'm trying to think what the last Marvel milestones we offered was. We had a few that we did. We did a Thanos, a couple Thanoses from the movies. We did a Thor from the movies. I'm trying to think what the last Marvel milestone we did. There were some that we were really ambitious and not necessarily main characters or people didn't like what they looked like or something. So we ended up not going forward with a couple of them because they start at 200, but they can go up to 5. So they're big statues, most of them. We try to make them deluxe with like, diorama pieces, into the bases and stuff like that. So it's there has to be a lot of support behind a milestone for it to go forward. Premiere collections, I can't remember the last time we canceled a premiere. They're they do pretty well.
That lizard is pretty freaking awesome. And again,
I like that
talking about this one. This one's really cool. This is the statue Baza had just mentioned. And looks good, man. Totally Kirby and stuff. So, all right, what's the idea behind, okay, we're going to do this version of this character. So this is more obviously Kirby inspired. So is there a chance that there'll be other Fantastic Four Kirby inspired premiere statues or like takes on different artists?
We try to, very often we'll emulate an artist, but more often we'll have the artist, the sculptor, do their own take on the character. I'm not sure what was behind deciding on doing a Jack Kirby thing versus our sculptor's take on the thing. Our premiere collection isn't necessarily team building. They're more standalone pieces. Obviously, we've done a lot of XMen, but we aren't like trying to build an XMen team or anything like that. If thing does well, maybe we'll say, oh, let's go back and do a Torch or a Mr. Fantastic or something like that. I think we've done the premiere collection has been around for a while. It took a little break for a while when we weren't doing Marvel resin, but I want to say we've done Invisible Women in the past, at least one or two. There might have been a variant there, like a clear variant. So we may have already done a couple of characters that were slightly older that collectors may not necessarily need again. But I would say generally they're standalone pieces. They're not necessarily meant to be part of a collection.
But that's then those the premier collected statues. What are those? Those aren't PVC. Those are your the $50 to like $80 statues. Are these polystone?
Polystone resin, yeah. The premier collection is resin, so $150 it starts at, and they go up from there. Some of them are $2.
Right, yeah. Depending on, I guess, like the size, what goes into it, things like that.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. Here's something that's pretty awesome. Talk about hitting the iron while it's hot. The Omni-Man. Obviously, you guys got Invincible. It looks like you got a lot of articulation going on in this figure too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I look forward to getting it in and playing around with it. Definitely, I'm a fan of the show. I've been watching it regularly, and I was a fan of the comic before it came out. So,
yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I like this. So you got obviously the first one's going to be Omni-Man and Invincible, right? And then from there it would be like, okay, depending on how well these sells, we'll get into the other characters, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't heard how well they did at Specialty. I think we'll see some other more streamlined versions at other retailers. So if you don't want the deluxe version with all the accessories, there will be other versions available. And if they do well, then yeah, I think we'll go forward with the Series 2. I know Invincible's had other costumes. I don't know if they're going to appear in the show, but it would be great to do Adam Eve and gosh, I love a robot. I like Robot.
Yeah, that's cool. That's Zachary Quinto too doing the voice.
Yeah, that's him, right? Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Oh boy, Siler from way back. Are these like comparable to the Marvel Selects? Are they kind of like in the same wheelhouse as far as size of the figure and things like that?
Yes. Every action figure we do is generally nowadays, I'm sure we've done some different scales in the past, but everything we do today is 7-inch scale. So a full-grown adult is 7 inches tall. The Muppets that we do are, how big would a Muppet be compared to a human? We try to match that scale. But all the Lord of the Rings stuff is 7 inches, depending on the race, like if it's a dwarf, obviously, or a hobbit. Even our Invader Zim figures are, like how big would a kid be to an adult in that world? So right, yeah. We try to stick with the same scale so that all of our action figures at least work together.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense too. And there's there's some other companies now that are doing. I don't want to mention them that you're on the stream, but like there are other companies that are doing 7-inch kind of scale right now too. So that would help if you're into that company and you want to get like whatever it is that they're doing. These will kind of also fit in with them because it's like that's like a big thing, right? Everyone wants like uniformity in their collection.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time for 7-inch scale figures. 6-inch was the norm for so long, DC and Marvel, but now you got a 7-inch contender with McFarlane, and I think that's great for 7-inch scale. A lot of people have sort of said, "Oh, why is Marvel Select 7 inches? Why doesn't it fit in with my Marvel Legends collection?" It's like, well, it's not supposed to. It's always been from day one. It's supposed to be a more deluxe figure, bigger, higher price point. Only available at certain types of stores, and yeah. So I think now it's a good time to be a 7-inch figure company.
Yeah, definitely. All right, cool. So, Baz, you have anything? I want to open up the chat, just give our shout outs and, open the floor up to questions and stuff like that. I got a couple on my phone from some people that had submitted questions earlier in the week. Not too many, but now's your time, guys, to ask any questions. All right, Toy Mafia, what's up? We're going to do the roll call. Rome Ross, how's it going? Thor is with us. How are you, Thor? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Briscoe from up top, a buddy up north. How's it going? CM Brock, on point and on time, 2 weeks in a row. Let's go for the hat trick next week. Carla, thanks for joining us. As always, the wonderful and beautiful Jezebel. Our boy Donnie from up north. How's it going, Donnie? I spoke to Lawrence earlier, the Toy Time Machine. We're going to try to get something together on his show. He's interested in having us on there, and then we're going to have him on here eventually, so that'll work out. That's pretty cool. And let's see, whoever else is in here. And again, if you're in the chat, Seahawk 327, we're going to start off with your question. Edwin Diaz, how's it going, buddy? All right. So, again, here it goes. I knew that this was going to start. I actually did this right before when we were in the green room. Question number 1, any future plans at any Batman the Animated Series half-scale size bus like we're just replaying 20 minutes ago? So, all right, comment or not, do what you will with it.
We don't currently have any in development. We're on hold with that line right now, but we want to start it up again soon. We're just waiting for some stuff to clear up, and hopefully we'll be back in the DC business very soon. But right now, nothing is on the slate for a near future release.
Right. All right. So
how's that? Does that work?
That sounds good to me. My follow-up to that is going to be, how has the Legends in Half Scale bus been doing? Like, have they been well received?
Yeah, Batman and Joker sold out almost instantly, which is great. The Legends in 3 Dimensions busts, we only do about 1,000. We only do 1,000 of each. So those two sold out. Harley, I think we still have a few left. Wonder Woman, I think we have a few left. But yeah, they all did really well, the animated ones.
Well, what about like the regular releases in general? Like, it seems, I'll be honest, like I know that like some of them was sitting on the shelf for a little while. I had gotten the Iron Man one, and it's pretty freaking awesome, man. Like I'm not even really that big of an Iron Man fan, so I was like, I got it in, and I says, this is like really, really well painted and nice. It's like heavy. I make a joke during the reviews where I'm like, yo, if you want to feel like you can have something to bash someone over the head with in case like an intruder comes into your house, this will be fine. You don't have to want to start smacking people up with the bus or anything, but it's heavy. It's got weight to it. It's look, as a matter of fact, it's right over my shoulder there, way in the back, right?
Nice.
There, and the other
Home Defense.
There's the animated series ones over in
awesome.
that corner right there.
Home Defense is definitely something you should think about when you're collecting.
No, but they're like their quality. They're hefty. Like you feel like you're getting something. Like I know. Like, and here I'll comment about the Joker. Like the Batman piece is much bigger than the Joker, right? And it rightfully so. It's got his cape, part of his shoulders. The Joker is really just a bust. But even the oh my god, even the Harley bust. We're gonna start this. The Harley bust is heavy. The Batman bust is heavy. The Joker bust almost felt like it was made of ceramic. Like it was not as heavy as the other ones. The other ones were like, you can kill somebody with one of these things, So is there anything going to like the busts themselves, whether or not like we're going to do one this way or one that way, or one's going to be heavier than others, or like the type of material that's used?
I think it really depends on the designer. The designer for all of the Legends in 3D is Joe Allard. So he comes up with the pose and the angle for all the busts. He has a really interesting way of going about it, where he pictures the whole pose and then takes just a slice of it for the bust. And the Joker, I think, just because it doesn't have a cape and it doesn't have Harley's headdress, it doesn't have Wonder Woman's hair, I think it just probably worked out to be one of the lighter ones.
Right. I'm actually trying to work on getting him on the show too. I have him. I contacted him like way before I even contacted you. Like, hey, let me just throw this up in the air. I like these things. The guy's name's Joe. Let me contact him online. And he was like, yeah, it'd be great. So I was like, oh, well, hopefully we can get him on a future episode.
Great. Yeah. Anybody you want to talk to from DST, I'll try to hook you up.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be really awesome, actually. So they're selling pretty good. I'm in love with these things. I'm not a bust collector. I collect right now. I'm doing the Tweeterhead big size statues of the DC superhero characters from the Superpowers collection that we had when we were growing up.
Okay.
And but then when I saw I guess it was like 2 years ago, maybe 2019, you guys were showing off these Legends and half scale busts, and I was like, yo, this is crazy looking. Like these are like really legit. Even the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man one, I thought that would look great to integrate with either. Like that's like something like you can have like your Diamond Select like Ghostbuster figures you just released a few years ago, right? And then you have like maybe the bust in the background behind them, like as if it was peeking over the side of the building, you know, or something like that. Like it's a cool way to integrate multiple collectibles, lower that. Have like your collection be multifaceted kind of, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of that piece. I love the base, what looks like the building. I think that's a great one.
So, all right, cool. So, let's take a look at here, more questions. What the hell am I talking about? I wanted to take a look at some of the other stuff coming out, but here are some questions I had that was submitted to us, Baz. From the Facebook page, it says here, hey, this is from Hank Slate. He says, will they continue the old Star Wars, Clone Wars Maquette lines? When will they do another fan poll to pick a bust to be made? Okay, so that's like a two-parter. So are you guys still doing fan polls? Let's start there.
The last fan poll we did was, I think, right before we started the new Premier Guild membership drive. So we let the people who are in this year's Premier Guild, we'll let them vote at the end of the year before they join up, and then we'll have that's how we did it last year. I assume we'll do it again that way because it seemed to work really well. Last year we had them vote, and then we said that was one of the gifts. So when they join up, they get to choose, one free bust that they can get, and that was one of the options. So hopefully we do that again because I think that worked out really well. And then the other question was about animated maquettes. I'm not sure if we have necessarily any maquettes in the works. I know we are doing a line of animated style busts. I don't know if that is going to lead to animated style statues. Most of the time when we do the statues, they're more realistically styled. Like we just pre-ordered a Bo-Katan Kryze statue. So that is based on her animated look, but it's done in a realistic style. So I think that's the direction we're going in the future. I haven't seen any animated style maquettes on our roll of list of upcoming products.
Cool. All right. It says here, someone, and I have no idea what the hell this is. Maybe you can make some sense of it. Someone please ask about, this is from Ryan Inkin. Someone please ask about Malaki mini bust.
Malakili, the Rancor keeper. Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's the guy, all right.
He's the guy in the headdress who takes care of the Rancor in Return of the Jedi. Yeah, Ryan is a big fan of the Malakili, and it actually was one of the options in the poll last year. So we'll see how he does. Maybe he'll make a return in another upcoming poll, and we'll see how he does. It'd be great to make him. I think he's a very memorable character. But we'll see. We'll see.
Very cool. All right. And Will is from Duncan Smith. Okay, here's a hard hitting question, and take this what you will. This is one's pretty good, and this was going to come up eventually anyway. Will the Marvel / Star Wars toy lines be affected in any way now that Diamond Distribution has lost the comic distribution contact from Marvel? How does that affect the toy lines?
As far as I know, it doesn't affect us at all. I haven't heard anything about that. I've heard the news, but I haven't heard that that's going to affect us in terms of our Marvel license or our Star Wars license. Our Disney license. We have a lot of licenses with the overall Disney family. So
me and Baz were talking about this earlier in the week, and we were getting ready for the show, and we had mentioned like how, and I never put two and two together like an idiot. I'm like, I just never figured out that like Diamond Distribution, that you get like your comics from, solicited from the local comic shops, and Diamond Select Toys. I mean, hello, it's both Diamond, but you guys are two different entities, right? Under like a similar banner or something. Like, are you your own kind of area in that umbrella?
Yeah, we're two different companies. same owner, but we're two different companies. So I don't know that anything necessarily affects them is going to necessarily affect us.
Okay, cool.
But we'll see what the future holds. As far as I know, everything's going forward as planned, and nothing's changing.
Yeah, no, we were talking, Baz, remember we were like, who the hell's going to start making action figures? You guys make like the most stuff, right? So like you got like, McFarlane's mostly doing DC stuff, and, Mezco plays the hokey pokey game with the characters they pick and choose to make and stuff. And it seems like you guys have like a license and you're doing everything. Like we're going to do all these different half scale busts. We're going to do the Lord of the Rings whole set of characters and Marvel Select and stuff. So even up until recently, obviously, you guys had a ton of DC. There's DC statues that you were doing, the vinyl ones, like the diorama-based stuff. So
yeah.
It's like, who the hell is going to make products for companies, for collectors that are into pop culture stuff if there's an issue with Diamond? I mean, you guys make the most stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, we have a lot of licenses. I would think that we're probably one of the most diverse toy companies out there in terms of the number of licenses we have.
Yeah, I can only imagine, like, if you guys were like, yeah, if it was in any way connected to the comic book stuff, it would almost be like, well, then who the hell is going to make Marvel stuff? Like, are we just going to have Marvel Legends, or who the hell is going to make our DC characters besides McFarlane? And because I'm not really a big fan of the McFarlane stuff personally, but it was just kind of, I don't know, it would leave me a little sour, and I think it would be a big, giant, gaping hole in the industry. Hopefully it won't happen. Obviously, you said it's two different things, two different situations, so that's a friggin', that's a relief. All right, anybody else have any questions for Zach? Zach, you want to like maybe share something, take a look at certain things that are coming out soon or anything like that while we wait for people to maybe, ask whatever the hell they're looking to,
Let's see. What do we have coming up? We've got some stuff for Captain America and the Winter Soldier coming up. Falcon and the Winter Soldier that we're going to be doing. So we'll see some of that. We got, there's embargo, so we got to wait to show it off. We have some mini mates that are out now at Walgreens for that. I'm a big fan of the mini mates, so I'm always pushing them. We just did some for Black Widow, so we have the Black Widow mini mates that are out now at Walgreens, and we did a Taskmaster action figure based on the movie. Came out a little while ago because the movie got pushed back so far, but it's still available. The Lord of the Rings stuff, we recently showed off Series 4, which has Gandalf with Gollum, and then there's also going to be an Uruk-hai in there. People were asking if you needed the Series 4 to build Sauron, but no, you only need Series 1 through 3. Series 4, I don't believe there's a Build-A-Figure involved in Series 4. We've got that pack-in of Gollum, and then we've got a pretty big character in the Uruk-hai. But we are working on a larger statue, one of the high-end statues that's going to, I think, fit in with the line. So we'll see how that goes. I don't think we're ready to solicit it just yet, but hopefully in the near future.
Nice. All right, cool. So you're trying to make like a bigger statue that'll kind of fit in with the actual action figures themselves?
Yes, absolutely.
Nice. Very cool. All right, Donnie asks, Zach, what are a few Marvel Select figures, new or old, you think are the best knock out the park figs?
Well, everybody loves that new Immortal Hulk that we just put out. That's for sure. That one sold out pretty quick, and everybody seems to be saying good things about it. Some people were saying it was the best Hulk ever, which is awesome. That's great. And in terms of other ones we've done really well, everybody loves our movie Wolverine that we did, the Hugh Jackman from The Wolverine. That one is a great figure. I think I still have mine in my collection. The Taskmaster figure that we just did is actually pretty nice. It's really posable. You can do the bow and arrow poses. He comes with all his gear. I haven't seen the movie yet, obviously, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big Black Widow fan. And I'm trying to think if there's any other recent ones that were like really knock out of the park. Everybody loves the Watcher. Everybody's waiting for the Watcher to come back, and I can tell you now it is going to come back. So we're going to be able to offer the Watcher again very soon. Everybody wants to get that one. It's a very high end. Black Hole. Black Hole.
Yeah.
We got a Black Hole fan.
Oh yeah.
We're going to be doing some more Black Hole stuff too, so keep an eye out for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, can you tell me like what?
I think if you're a fan, you could probably rattle off the things you'd want to see in a Series 2, and I think we're definitely listening to that and looking at that when we're coming up with our Series 2. But I hope I'm able to say that we're doing a series 2. We're going to do a series 2.
Awesome. You know, like they keep rebooting all this stuff. Why don't they do an updated version of Black Hole?
It's I would love to see an updated version of Black Hole. That movie's pretty crazy.
They had the coolest fucking robots.
The
so cool.
Baz, back when we were getting each other Christmas presents like 10 years ago, I think it was, or so, you had wound up getting me that Juggernaut, Marvel Select Juggernaut figure, and that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Like that figure is like, talk about it is going to become a recurring joke on this stream. Apparently, talking about being able to bash someone over the head with something. That figure is heavy, man. And it was really good. I think it actually fits in better with any of the other, like, cause I was always like a Marvel Legends guy originally before I moved on to like, Hot Toys and statues and busts and stuff like that. And I thought it was a knock out of the park, better than anything else. Big, heavy figure, like attacking all the X-Men at once. You could have him hanging off of his arm and stuff. I thought it worked. I thought it was really nice.
Like,
I'm a fan of our Hulkbuster too.
Hulkbuster? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Disney Store Hulkbuster. I'm a big fan of that one. Actually, we just reissued it for comic shops. That and the Spectacular Spider-Man I like a lot. He's got the interchangeable head and the mask and the camera. The Mighty Thor with the spinning hammer. We just reissued that as well. I'm a big fan of that one. Yeah, we've done some really good figures. Definitely.
I like the Hawkeye one you had with the Ultron base.
Yeah,
and it had like
classic Hawkeye, right?
Classic Hawkeye, yeah. And
the modern Hawkeye is pretty good too. It came with Pizza Dog. I like that one. That one was a good one. I like that.
Did you read that arc? I haven't read that arc. I heard it was really good. The Matt Fraction Hawkeye. Yeah.
I don't know if I read every single issue, but I read a lot of the trades, and it's really great stuff. I like it a lot. Okay. I'm looking forward to the show. I'm a big Hawkeye fan, like movie Hawkeye fan. Well, comic Hawkeye too, but I like the movie Hawkeye, so I'm looking forward to the TV series.
I like any archery characters for some reason. I don't know why.
Taskmaster and gosh, who else has a bow? Well,
Green Arrow, man.
Green Arrow.
I'm not a huge DC guy. I'm definitely more of a Marvel guy. I grew up reading all the Marvel stuff, but I started reading when I was working at Wizard. I started reading a lot more DC. So I gained an appreciation for it, but I'm still Iron Man and Hawkeye and Spider-Man, Captain America, big Captain America fan.
Well, hold on, you can't just say that. When I was working for Wizard, are you kidding me? You worked for Wizard?
He just says it so nonchalantly, like yes, and
yeah, I worked for their toy magazine, Toy Fair. That's how I got the job here. They knew me from there. That's how I met all the DST guys first off.
Oh my God, we grew up on those magazines too.
What was your role in the magazine when you were doing the magazine? Like,
I started out as a copy editor, just reading everything, making sure it was okay. They made me photographer for a little while. I was shooting like Twisted Toy Fair Theater and stuff. And
nice.
And awesome. I was editor. By the end of it, I was running it.
Wow,
that's awesome, man.
Royalty.
I have like a few old toy fairs laying around. Some, man, if I would have known that, I would have busted those out.
That's crazy.
That's probably got my picture in it.
It's got to be real frustrating when you guys come out with a whole bunch of new stuff, right? And it's like, look at all this, and most of it is cool. I really like we said the Thing statue really caught my eye. The lizard statue looks really good. I'm thinking all the time, like a really cool Wolverine where he's kind of doing this, and the tiger outfit that is the Invincible figures. But it's got to be really frustrating when you're like, look at all this stuff, and then someone's got to come along like me right now and go, what about this? Like what happened to this thing? I guess it comes with the territory, right?
Well, when you do as much stuff as we do, and we dabble in so many different areas, it's like, everybody who's a fan of that one thing is going to want, to see some more of it. Sorry. It's eventually, that's part of my job, to make sure that everybody puts eyes on the new stuff. So, it's me to make sure, luckily a lot of people are really excited about Invader Zim, which is new for us. People seem to be enjoying the Invincible show, which is good for our figures. Lord of the Rings. Some people are like, why do any more Lord of the Rings? Because, Toy Biz did everybody, but a lot of those figures, have not aged well. And, a lot of people the figures have done really well since we released Series 1. So there's definitely a lot of people who are, excited about it. It did really well in terms of pre-orders on our website. What else we got new that's coming up?
Can you guys do Game of Thrones?
I mean, we probably could if we went after it, but I don't know if we're going after it. I mean, the show's. Maybe we might have to let the show sit for a little while. I know not a lot of figures came out from it, but I think we'd have to wait for it
It was them not sticking the landing. It was that series was like the greatest thing ever, and then the last season happened, and it went. All right, we need to wait like 5 years before we revisit this.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it was I was actually flipping around Disney Plus with the wife the other day, and I was actually looking also at the new solicitations, and I was looking at the Legends and 3D half scale stuff, and I'm looking at your Muppet stuff, and I'm a big Muppets guy. For some reason, like Lego just released this this set of like Sesame Street, and it was like the first time since the Ghostbuster Firehouse where I was like, yo, like I'm not a Lego guy, and I was like, it just brings you instantly back to being a kid, you know. So now I start looking at your Muppet stuff. And you guys have the Animal Legends in 3D half scale, right? So here's something that's preventing me from picking up the Animal. I want more. I don't want to just buy Animal. I want to know that there's going to be a Kermit or a Fozzie. And then, but then it's like I hesitate on the Animal, and then what the hell am I doing? So what do you have to say to collectors that are like, I want to support something, but I don't know if it's just going to be a one-off, or is there a possibility of more getting made? And it's obviously, look, if they all sell out, we're obviously going to make more, right? I mean...
Yeah, I mean, if something does really well, we'll revisit it. Like we did a Godzilla, 1962 Godzilla, I want to say.
Yeah, it's a nice box.
It did really well, and some people are like, "Yeah, I didn't buy it because I heard someone say there wasn't another one in the works." And I'm like, "But it's a really nice standalone piece. Like, do you really need to have two to appreciate it?" And they're like, "Yeah, I do." So we're doing another one now, and now he's like, "Oh, I didn't buy it because you said I wasn't doing another one." So. But Animal's a great standalone piece. It's a beautiful piece. I don't know if it did as well as some of the others, like Rorschach and things like that. So I don't know that we have any plans to do another L3D for Muppets.
Right.
But I mean, never say never. It's impossible. We might go back and say, oh, let's do a Kermit or something like that. But I don't want to say, oh yeah, go buy the Animal because there's going to be more.
Right. Yeah. No, I hear you.
I'd say go buy the Animal because it's
just
cool
awesome.
And it's a really nice bust.
My son took the Rorschach. I had that, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm taking that one." So I was like, "All right, okay." He has never seen watching her. Like a cool look guy. I guess he watches YouTube videos and catches like wind of it here and there and stuff. And he was like, "Yo, I want that up in the room." So he wanted to take the Rorschach.
I was going to say your son got dark.
Yeah.
Well, you're reading him Edgar Allan Poe stories before he goes to bed,
Yeah.
True, I forgot about that.
I'm going.
Chat,
so,
Rob.
Mike, Grace, look, this isn't as intense or as horror like as you're used to, because he's watching these YouTube videos based on like how to get out of Nightmare on Elm Street and how to survive whatever the hell it is, and it's like PG-13 versions of like the horror movies, like little clips and stuff. So I'm like, this is probably not going to be as freaky as you would think, but I want to read it to you anyway. And like halfway through it, when he jumps into the room and he like jumps on the guy and crushes him with the bed in the story, and he's like, Dad, I'm trying to fall asleep. He's like, this is kind of like messed up. I was like, yeah, well, I mean, this is like the horror, like where it started, But yeah, so he's 10 years old. You start getting, you start feeling your own mortality, getting interested in the macabre, horror movies, stuff like that. I guess that's right around the age 10, 11, 12. You start getting into that stuff. I mean, for us, I don't know if I can speak for you, Zach, but for me, it was like walking into like Baz Mar's video and seeing the horror section, just seeing all those little boxes of all the crazy faces and shit, Day of the Dead, horror this or whatever. And that's kind of what I was like around that age, like, oh, I'm not supposed to go in that section, but I want to peek around the corner and look, So
I couldn't watch horror for a long time. I mean, I didn't do horror when I was a kid, and there were like the Dark Crystal, like freaked me out. I'd like it was I was not a horror guy, and it was only after I met my wife that I started like I had somebody to watch a horror movie with. I would start watching horror movies, but even now I'm still a little squeamish when it comes to like chop 'em up movies.
Yeah, gore and stuff I can't really mess with too much. And I don't really like jump scares either, which is weird. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no, I can't do that.
It has to fall right in that sweet spot between like horror and not too over the top gross, and I'll be cool with it. A couple more questions in the chat here. That Thor, I don't know if this is a question. Jose says that Thor is epic. I love it. And the Hugh Jackman Wolverine is still on my shelf. Very cool. Here's an interesting one. Eduardo says, where do you submit sample works for freelance work, and what are the criteria you are looking for in a freelance sculptor?
The president does a lot of the talent relations. You can send a link to your portfolio to the customer service address, which is webcustomerservice@diamondselecttoys.com, and that'll generally get forwarded on. And I'm sure he'll most likely take a look at it. Whether or not they're necessarily looking for more people right now, we got a lot of great sculptors who work for us. But he, you never know if he's impressed with the work. He may say, I need somebody to do this, and we always have new projects coming along. So definitely send your portfolio in. No guarantees.
Yeah, obviously, and I build up an Instagram account, stuff like that, word of mouth through Twitter, things like that. It never hurt. I don't know what you do, but I mean that's a possibility. All right, let's see. Donnie says, Zach, how is it Diamond Distribution sends out older figs out of the blue after a few years after a figure was first released? How did English, bro? Zach, how is it Diamond Distribution sends out older?
Well, I don't know which ones they mean. Sometimes with statues, we may not do the full production run right at the beginning. Like if it's a 3,000 piece edition, we may do, we may make 1,000 of them based on, whatever orders we got in. And then, once those sell out, we may say, I think we have orders for more. Once word's gotten around, that's a nice piece or something like that. And then we'll make more of that run. Because we still have, 2,000 we can make. So that's one situation where you might see something that was out and then came back, but that's not action figures. Action figures, we do reissues, sometimes not right away. Sometimes we'll wait a little while and then go back and make more, like the Watcher, for instance. And the Disney figures, sometimes when Disney's done issuing them, then we'll go and say, oh, we're going to make a few for the specialty market. After they're no longer interested in an exclusive. So that's another time when you might see something pop out that had been out a long time ago, like Hulkbuster, Mighty Thor, Spectacular Spider-Man. That was the other one we did. Oh, Infinity Thanos. That one was the fourth one that we just reissued that used to be a Disney exclusive. So there's a couple different ways that could happen. Hopefully that's one of those is what you were talking about.
I think that once the biggest hurdle, right, is getting the molds done. And then after that, it's kind of like, hey, you want to do another production run or anything like that? Should we revisit this? Once it's all said and done and set in stone with those molds, you guys pretty much have free reign to kind of pick and choose at that point, right? I'm sure half the work is done.
I mean, we want people to be able to get it. We want, we'll announce, in limited production runs, like 1,000 pieces on the Legends in 3D or on the Milestones pieces. So they're limited, but we don't want to, make less than that and then not have them available ever again. If we can use that mold and use those tools, to make more of that piece, then we'll do it. We don't reuse molds for stuff like Marvel Select or anything like that. Some people want us to take bodies and base them off. We've done that with Hulk, like Green Hulk, Red Hulk, and that's pretty much it, I think. Question.
Go ahead, just say it fast.
When did you reissue the Watcher?
We're about to.
Oh yes! God damn it!
You're a big cosmic guy, Baz, right?
Yes.
I mean, is there any other stuff in the works as far as cosmic characters? Maybe. Oh wait, don't you guys have? Oh, I don't know. I'm crossing action figure lines in my head now. Any other? I'm sure once Eternals comes out and that becomes more popular mainstream, you guys might be more apt to.
You know what character you guys need to reissue? Mephisto, man.
Oh yeah, bro.
After Watcher, that's the one that everybody wants. I don't know if that one's possible, but we'll see. Maybe.
Did he come with a throne?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, he came with a throne.
He's been on everybody's lips because of the Scarlet Witch and Vision series.
Yeah, someone faked a Minimates packaging because every now and then Minimates spoils something because something will get out there for Walgreens or something like that. So somebody faked a Minimates package where it was Scarlet Witch and Mephisto, and we weren't even doing any Minimates for the show. We did them for Falcon Winter Soldier, but we didn't do any for WandaVision. Who knew it was going to be such a huge hit? but somebody faked it with Scarlet Witch and Mephisto, and everybody was like, "Oh, Mini-Mate spoils something," and it's like, no, he wasn't even in it.
Yeah, exactly. I hear that. All right, shout out to the Toy Time Machine. They're listening on the way home from work. Very cool. We mentioned them earlier in the show. Let's see. Dark Onin says, "Yo, Zach, super stoked to see you. I remember you from the Toy Fair days. I miss that Meg so much, and all the best to you." Awesome. Hey, man, you got a little, people follow. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty cool.
With the sideburns, everybody recognizes you. Everybody's like, "Hey, there's that Wolverine guy. I remember you."
I remember the first time I walked up to you at Toy Fair, and I was coming up to you from we have a mutual friend in what's his face? God, damn, I gotta look it up on my phone because my brain is on the next question I have to ask you, and this guy's gonna be like, "You son of a bitch, you forgot my name." Like I do all the time with every person that's ever been on the show or is a friend of ours. And stuff.
It's all right. I forget who connected us myself.
That was Geek Astronomy.
Oh right, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, James Hamilton. No, he's a great guy.
Yep. And Baz, James, he was on our first episode.
How do you forget his name, dude?
I'm just so wrapped up in the conversation and looking at the damn chat and it's like it just.
Yo, Zach, he was on our first live show. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's your boy, Rob.
No, I know he is my boy. It's like because my brain needs to do drugs, bro. All right, there you go. No, I'm kidding. So Geek Astronomy hooked us up. He was like, "Yo, when you go up to him, say hello." It wasn't at Toy Fair. It was at one of the I think it was New York Comic Con. I went up to you with a Red Cup review on one of those little cards and stuff, and you're like, "Yeah, all right, bro." Like out of nowhere, and I'm like, "Yeah, James Hamilton, Geek Astronomy said for me to come and say hi to you and stuff." But here we are, all these years later and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Remember on the show we asked him about you're asking so what do you guys think about the new Joker movie with what's his name?
See,
Joaquin Phoenix, right? And he goes, "Why?" That was his answer. Like he had no idea that was happening, and then he's just like, "Why?" Yeah. And we were cracking up because we were like, "Yeah, why?" It's a good friggin' answer, right? Why? Why make a Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix? But it turned out good, so to some people, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. Zach, going forward, what's it going to be the main shipping warehouse? I'm sure you guys have more than one, right?
Yeah, I don't know for which for in what capacity. Diamond is still shipping out of they ship out of Mississippi, but they have other warehouses in other places, and I'm a little hazy on when something comes from one warehouse and when something comes from another warehouse. I don't know if it's entirely regional or if it's based on the product type or stuff like that. We have another warehouse that we ship for our web store out on the West Coast. So that's different. We no longer ship our products for the web store out of the main Diamond warehouse, which is what we used to do. So now they're coming from another warehouse out in California, and we've got new shipping options, and hopefully it's more consumer friendly.
You said you guys were located. You're in Maryland right now?
I'm in New York right now. I live in downstate New York, outside the city, and right. The main office for Diamond Select Toys and Diamond Comics is in outside of Baltimore. Right,
because I remember I went to Baltimore a few years back for a bachelor party, and I visited the Jeppy Museum, which that's the same thing, right? Isn't it the same guy?
Steve Jeppy, he owns the museum. I don't think the museum is around anymore. But he owns Diamond Comics and Diamond Select.
That was such a nice, man. That was I was just there on a bachelor party, and right before we left the day before, they were like, "Oh, look, there's this comic museum you guys want to go visit before we hit the road and bounce out of here." And we went in there, and I was like as close as I am to my laptop to the Action Comics #1 and Detective 27, and it was it was really nice, old school posters. As a matter of fact, one of my very first Red Cup things I was doing for the channel when I had first started was a walk through the museum. I have a bunch of stuff filmed, and it's like part of the archive. It's like one of the oldest videos that are available on the channel. So go check it out if you want to know what the hell we're talking about. It's one of the older videos. Now let's see. Print Rabbit says, "Hey Zach, I'm happy to see Invader Zim get some attention after so many years. What is the process of selection for properties that aren't evergreen?"
The president is the guy who goes and seeks out the licenses that he thinks are going to be get the best response from collectors. For a lot of the part, he looks at licenses that haven't had a lot of product or haven't had product in a long time. Like Black Hole, there hasn't been anything since the early 80s or late 70s. I forget if it was 79 or 81 that came out. And then Tron, there haven't been good Tron action figures in a long, long time. Pirates of the Caribbean, we have a figure coming out for that. The Crow, there have been a few different.
Yeah, that
Crow
was
figures.
a big one, right? You guys have a whole bunch of Crow stuff coming out.
Yeah, we got the action figure. We did a Walgreens version without the coat that everybody is going crazy for and trying to find. The prices on eBay are ridiculous, but they're still rolling out at Walgreens. So hopefully the more will get out there for people. We have a couple of gallery dioramas we're doing, and we have an L3D, a Legend in 3D bust that we're doing of him. So
yep, yeah. So are you guys like a lot of other companies when you kind of sit in the wings and wait with a property or something that you might have developed and wait for either a movie or a cartoon or something to come out to drum up even more excitement for it? Or you guys just release on, hey, we want to release this. This looks cool.
We try to time it to something interesting, but whether or not it's right before it or right after it or at the same time, like Invincible was great timing. Lord of the Rings, we're excited about the TV show that's coming up, so hopefully there'll be a little bit of overlap there in terms of interest.
Right. Those movies just came out in 4K too, so that's like another thing. It's like, oh, that was kind of like it did just. Yeah. I think the 4K movies just hit a couple of months ago or something, so it's in the front of the public zeitgeist. In other words.
Yeah, Invader Zim, they did that movie on Netflix, I think a year or so back. So it was actually something that, was still in people's minds. It wasn't just that, cartoon from, 10 years ago. We definitely try to make sure to pick up properties that are going to be, that are going to have something in the media that's going to draw people's attention to them. I can't remember the last one where we actually sat on it for a while.
What was that, Baz?
Video game characters.
Sonic. We're going to be doing more stuff with Sonic.
Cool.
Let's see. We have the Castlevania was based on the Netflix anime, but we just did some Castlevania figures, a couple series of them. Video games, I think we've done some in the past, but it's not a huge. We did Plants vs. Zombies. We did a lot of Plants vs. Zombies stuff too, so that was pretty good. I think we have any in development right now, but video games are tough because their development is. If it's an upcoming game, then the development changes, the game changes a lot before it gets released, you got to be really on model with those.
I'm still waiting for a company to come out with some Mass Effect figures, man, because like the ones that you go back to try to find a Mass Effect figure now, and it's like I might as well just remortgage my house for some of the the statues and stuff that came out all those years ago for that stuff. So I'm pretty much shit out of luck there. Let's see. Back into the chat. Okay. Zach, what's Diamond's main focus going to be with the two big comic distributors moving on? That's
about above my pay grade and different company. So I don't even know if I could comment on that one. I don't know much about Diamond's plans. I'm Diamond Select Toys, and I know about toys, and that's pretty much it.
Right. So, but as far as the toys go, right, you guys got a lot of focus on Marvel going on right now, and DC's waiting in the wings. So this is going to be like a Marvel year, put it that way, right?
Yeah, Marvel is definitely our flagship. Marvel is our flagship, but we also do a lot of Star Wars stuff under our Gentle Giant banner. So if you're into Star Wars, we do a lot of busts, a lot of statues. When we did our presentation, 1/3 of it was Marvel, 1/3 of it was Star Wars, and then everything else was, maybe a little more than a third after that. But Star Wars is right up there with Marvel in terms of how much product we put out.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually pull that up on the screen because you guys have this really awesome, nice looking bust coming out. But again, it's Star Wars is one of those properties where it's like, you make a figure or a statue of some character that had like 5 seconds of screen time and everybody eats it up, So that's just the way Star Wars always has been. But it was that Mandalorian. Well, here you go. Here's Dr. Aphra. That's pretty cool, right? So she's like a really I've never read a comp with her, but she seems to be like a super popular character as far as the comics go. I'm guessing these are Marvel Selects.
That's the Marvel Select Torch, and that's the Legends in 3 Dimensions Carnage.
Yeah, this is, oh my God. You know what? I don't like Carnage as a character, but this bust is going to look incredible in person with the way the black and the red look. Oh my God. I can only imagine how good this is going to look.
Is that an old man Logan?
Yep, Logan from the Logan movie, yeah.
Oh, man.
Very cool.
Come on.
That's a statue, a Premier Collection statue. And that's the electronic B9 robot. We have a regular one, and that's the retro one. Actually, we've done like 4 different versions of him, but 2 of them were exclusives, the Golden Boy and the Antimatter. I think were both exclusives. So, but the retro wasn't, so we're going to go back and do more retro.
That is cool.
Very cool. Here's some more of the Lord of the Rings stuff. We got, I love these. And again, I'm not a bust guy. That's why I try to stick with the Batman, the animated stuff. But these X-Men busts are like right off the page. Huge smart move, in my opinion, if I could just kiss ass for a little bit, to actually paint them to look like semi-cell shaded. Yeah. Like I can't stand it when a bust comes out of a comic book, of a cartoon character, and it doesn't look like the colors of the cartoon. And I know that like these, especially these, but some other companies now have been not even companies. It's just yours. Like the Legends in 3D half scale Batman the animated series ones have like that's like I want my collectible to look like the cartoon I watched growing up. You know, I want it to be painted and look like that. You know.
Yeah, that Rogue is going to sell good for you guys.
Yeah, I hope so. That's like the 5th or 6th of the X-Men series we're doing. We're going to do some Spider-Man ones. We showed Dr. Octopus and
Mysterio, right?
Mysterio and Spider-Man. And then we're going to do some more X-Men. People have been asking if we're going to continue the X-Men line and do more of them. And we are, definitely.
There you go. Awesome. That's yeah, man. Because like it would be such a shame for you guys to like go up. You know, we're not doing any more X-Men. It's like I got half the animated team, man. Come on, like that's. But I'm glad that that's working out. The Magneto one looks incredible. The Magneto half bust was really really nice. I'm sure this is going to sell like hotcakes if it's not already sold out because everyone's jonesing for Ahsoka. Anything with this girl's face on it is like
I didn't see any of this stuff.
I'm not sure how much of this was in the presentation. This is actually a slightly older batch of solicitations. You can see Wonder Woman's there, and she's already out. But the animated style Ahsoka, I think, is definitely sold out. So that should be coming out pretty soon, I think.
Whoa,
the Storm is really nice.
Look at Storm.
Yeah, Storm looks incredible, bro. And it's like that's Storm. That's like my night, Dave Cockrum Storm.
Dave Cockrum, like they hardly ever make her in that outfit.
Yeah. Smart choice. What kind of statue is that?
What's the price point? Yeah.
That one's a PVC diorama, so that's $50.
Oh shit!
Right, that looks pretty damn good for that, bro. Like that don't look like a PVC diorama. I was gonna say he's gonna turn around and say one of his premier statues. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's 1/8 scale. It's about 9-10 inches tall, I think.
Yeah, that's nice, man. That's really cool. Yes, I tried to go online and grab anything that I could see. It says you guys are in this thing. I guess it's a little bit older now, and maybe I'm behind the curve on this. But are you guys redoing these? Did you guys have already redone these Batman the Animated Series half scale busts? Like, were these already put out?
Yeah, those are the like 1/7 scale busts.
Yeah. And
the Batman was new. That one might be on hold, that particular one. But the villains were sold out. But again, they were editions that we didn't do the full run on. So we went back and we made more of the Riddler, Clayface, Penguin, Scarecrow, Mr. Freeze, and Phantasm, I believe.
Yeah, I heard that there was a few of them that were just impossible to get, and the price on the aftermarket was absurd. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Again, you could look, man. I love Marvel too, but we're like DC is like the home on this channel, pretty much. That's like our flagship. It's like we're DC guys. We love Marvel too.
Hold on, is that Buffy?
Yeah, what?
That's Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Yep, that's one of our gallery dioramas, $50, and we're doing Buffy and Angel, and then if those two do well, we're gonna go back and do some more, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, I know, Baz, you're a big Buffy fan from back when Whedon was right, and he was like the creator of that show.
I kept trying to get you into it and shit. I was like, dude, this is like a comic book on television.
now everything's a comic book on television. I should have just listened back in the day.
Before we had anything, and like you wouldn't get into it. I think the name put you off, like Buffy.
Oh god, I remember the movie with the girl from the program, the blonde that played the head role in that movie. She was the girlfriend in the movie, the program, the football movie. Christy Swanson. Yeah,
I think you just like you were biased towards it, like you never got into it, and then Whedon directed the Avengers, and you loved that shit. So. But let's check out the chat, man.
I was just going to go back to that. Zach, Dark Horse, Matt Wagner's Grendel is terribly underrepresented in the action figure space. Just throwing that out there. I don't know if that's much of a question, but he's throwing it out there. Let's see.
I agree.
Then they're going back and forth about that. Let's see. Spider-Man and his amazing friends would possibly sell great. I mean, I'm sure if these animated Spider-Man busts do well, there's always the nostalgia for the amazing friends, type stuff.
We just did a really cool Iceman Premier Collection statue. Obviously, that's a little bit more expensive, $150. But we have a gallery diorama of Firestar coming out, which is that $50 price point, and she came out great. So I think that one will be coming out late spring. I want to say maybe early summer, but it's a really nice looking piece. So you got that there, and then we've done a few different Spider-Mans.
Some of the gallery dioramas seem to, like you were mentioning earlier about one-off pieces that are just meant to kind of stand on their own. And I know that some of your gallery diorama pieces do go together, though. Like there was the Red Hood one. It was like that Batman gallery diorama you guys did with like all the different, like, the Robin, and there was the Red Hood was jumping over the building piece. There was like a Nightwing one, I think. So for like, let's say Man and Amazing Friends chooses the Firestar, is there any chance that you would do like Iceman and Spider-Man to go along with that, let's say? Do you guys think of it as a whole, or do you just say, let's do this one character and see where it goes from there?
Yeah, I'm not even sure if if the Nightwing was meant to go necessarily with the Red Hood. I know they're both kind of jumping over buildings, but I'll tell you, we're working on a new line of Marvel galleries called it's Marvel Gallery dioramas, but they're all on rubble bases, and they're meant to be like battling. So you can have Wolverine, that yellow tiger stripe Wolverine that you really like. You got Wolverine. We got Captain America throwing the shield.
The shield, right? Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like I was like, oh, this looks like they all kind of go together, Yes.
They are meant to be of a piece, not necessarily interlocking, but they're meant to be, in the same sort of world. So Vision is like phasing through some rubble. The Wasp is above some rubble. Spider-Man is perched on a like shattered lamppost. There's a Thor. There's an Iron Man that we're doing in like that his sort of 90s armor. It's a whole line of figures. We're gonna do some villains too, so you can have actually like heroes battling villains. It's a really cool looking line. We have an interview that's gonna be going up, I think, Monday with the designer Nelson Asensio and the sculptor Jean St. Jean, and they're going to talk about what went into the design and the sculpting of those pieces.
Nice, yeah, word. And that's probably what triggered my mind when you had said that you were doing those new ones. The Wasp one looks really good. She like look, I'm not the world's biggest Wasp fan. Like honestly, like I like, she's cool. She's cool in the Avengers, but it's sometimes you're like, whoa, like that's like that one was like maybe a little bit more attention was paid to that one because it like jumped out kind of, I just thought it looked a nice one.
Yeah, her classic costume is pretty cool. She's had like hundreds of costumes over the years, but that's a pretty cool one.
The animated busts look amazing. I want figures just like that. Don't we all? That's a problem I have with a lot of the Transformer figures that come out from any company, whether they're masterpieces from overseas or they're like Hasbro. I'm like, these look great, but they don't look like the cartoons. Why aren't you painting these things cell shading wise? I'm sure that I'm sure there's more money that goes into that. I'm sure it's more cost on your end to like the extra paint or the extra time to make it look cell shaded. I would imagine, but I'm sure that fans wouldn't mind paying a little bit of that extra just to look just the way it should look, like those XMen busts, and the Spider-Man ones.
Yeah, no, a whole line of that in action figure form would be really cool. I don't know if there's anything we're going to do, but it would definitely be awesome.
And that Sabretooth one looked awesome too. The Sabretooth one you guys got coming out where he's all like, jumping out like that. That one looks really cool.
Yeah, it's a big one. That one costs a little bit more than the regular ones because he's so big, but it's a really cool piece.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, are they all like kind of? So if you had the Sabretooth one next to the Rogue one, Sabretooth would actually look like Sabretooth. It's like he's gonna be the same size as Rogue, just
Yeah, he's definitely in scale. But all of them are $59.99 except for him.
Cool. Let's see. Someone mentioned Justice League. Yes, wait on that stuff. Wait on the Justice League stuff. We'll do a.
We actually did some. We did some Justice League animated PVC dioramas. We did Huntress, and we did Superman. We did Wonder Woman. We did obviously Batman. But yeah, we did a whole line of animated style busts, animated style PVC dioramas back in the day. It's probably been 5-6 years at this point. But we did like Power Girl and Supergirl. We did a lot of them.
Nice. Wait, what was I putting those? Oh, okay, there we go. Boom. Yep, animated bus, and then that was the next one. All right. Okay, question from Briscoe. Zach, is there any plans for Diamond to get some international licenses to make any classic samurai figures such as Yojimbo, Tachi Lady Snowblood, or the Lone Wolf and Cub? I wonder how the copyright and licensing would work for America.
Well, we're working with at least one company out of Japan. We're working with Toho on Godzilla stuff. So it's not out of the question. I don't even know what other classic films that have like an American audience would be in the Toho library. I bet you one of those is. But I think those are maybe a little bit more niche than Godzilla. So it's not likely, but anything's possible. I know that like a lot of the figures that have been done for those movies have been like 12-inch figures with cloth costumes and heads, and with those you can do like a more limited run when you're just making cloth costumes. The cost is, per figure is generally the same no matter whether you're making a few or a lot. But if you're making like a sculpted plastic figure, then you need to make a lot of them for it to be cost effective. So we'd have to do pretty big runs of a pretty, I don't want to say unpopular, but pretty niche character with some really hardcore, excited fans, but not a lot of them in the U.S. So it's tricky. It's a tricky balancing act to see what's going to be, what sort of audience there is for something versus how much it's going to cost to make it.
Oh, all right. Let's see. Zach, I'd love to work with a toy company. What advice would you say for someone who doesn't have a portfolio but has a passion for figures? And what are your ways to get the foot in the door of a toy company?
Well, I can't. I can't
classifieds.
Yeah, we do list job opportunities on our website, on the Diamond Comics website, actually. So if you go to diamondcomics.com, jobs for DST are listed there. But like the last couple people we hired were like really good at social media. They were studying marketing. I had writing history. I was a writer, so I could do a lot of that. And I've been working on a website between Toy Fair and this job. So I did a lot of blogging and social media stuff. And but if you're looking to like design action figures, it's you need to have a certain amount of skill, certain types of skills. You need to have, if you have toy design, toy design history, obviously that's great. You can, you could start your own toy company and work your way up from the bottom and then, figure it out your own way. There are plenty of people who are making toys who aren't working for the big companies. But there's no one way to get in there. It's all depends on what that toy company is looking for at that time. But if they're looking for somebody to do like art stuff, then having a degree in toy design certainly wouldn't hurt. All
right, here's my this is the last one that's on my mind. My question is going to be, you guys just had this big rollout, right? You had the video. This is our solicitations for 2021. Was that video made with the idea that there's not going to be a San Diego Comic-Con or New York Comic-Con this year? Is that your flagship, all your product going forward until, let's say, next April when you release the 2022 stuff? Is there anything kind of you guys are holding back for a few more reveals along the way?
That is everything that we pretty much had ready to show right now. So there are some things that aren't going to come out till early 2022. I'm sure a couple of those galleries aren't going to be out till early 2022. Maybe a few statues. I'm not sure about the Cobra Kai action figure timeline in terms of when those will be out. Those might be closer to early next year as well. But I'm sure that we'll have stuff that people haven't seen even as soon as next month, stuff that we hadn't put into that wasn't quite ready to show off yet. All of our San Diego exclusives, we showed a few there, a few San Diego, a few New York Comic Con exclusives, but we've got a whole bunch more that we're working on. Gosh.
Well, I know you guys have shown so much. It was like a tidal wave of stuff. So I was wondering, like, do companies just say, screw it, we're just going to throw the kitchen sink at everybody? Or is it like, okay, we're going to hold a couple of things back because we want to keep Diamond on the front of people's minds, like in another 3 months or so, like right around July. And then maybe around the time when New York Comic Con would come around, here's a little bit extra, a little bit more.
I don't think we were thinking of it like, oh, well, let's hold back some stuff. I think it was really sort of this was meant to take the place of New York Toy Fair, which usually happens in February. We just started a little late on it, so we had to put a little bit more work into it too. We just wanted to show off everything that we have ready to show off. Not even everything that's coming out. There's some stuff that's going to be coming out in the next couple of months that I don't think even was shown at the show. And there's some stuff that's going to be solicited in the next couple of months that wasn't quite ready yet. Usually if something's ready, then we'll, there is some stuff that we maybe hold back a couple months just so we're not, soliciting. We don't try not to solicit two of the same kind of product at once. Sometimes you would said, do you hold stuff back? And maybe there are a couple things we'll hold back in terms of when our contract allows us to, or when a show is coming out, we want to time it more closely to that. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it does. That last one. But for the most part, it was just to show, give people a sense of what was coming up and let them know that we have a lot of stuff in the works. Give people another view at them. We put out a couple images each month for each product, but we were able to give out a couple more angles. We were able to show off some production pieces, which is good. I don't think the goal is to blow everything out of the water, but I also don't think the goal is to trickle stuff out for the purpose of trickling, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That's cool. As I don't like, it would be a shame to be like, okay, look at all this awesome stuff, and then we don't hear from Diamond now until next April, and it's like, okay, I forgot all this stuff was coming out.
well, every month for us is kind of a toy fair because we solicit a dozen items every month through previews, and so usually even with toy fair, at least half of those are one pieces that nobody's seen before, and this was primarily done for like specialty retailers like comic shops. If there were retailer exclusives that have already been sold to, say, Walgreens or Walmart or the Disney store, we didn't show those in this show because it was primarily designed the way Toy Fair is, to sell toys to retailers. Right. So if they're already sold, then there's no point to show them. So and also the companies like to roll the information about those out closer to the release. So when there's a Disney store exclusive ready to go, we'll announce it. When there's a Walgreens exclusive hitting stores, and we'll announce it, just so people can go looking for it. But we don't need to necessarily offer them, promote them really far in advance, because we get people all hyped up for something that they can't even get their hands on for another 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, no, that's smart. I like that too. When something goes up for pre-order, like I want to pre-order it knowing that it's coming sooner rather than I got to wait a year and a half. Like Hot Toys is notorious for that. Here, pre-order something and we'll see in 3 years. It's like, come on, bro. Don't even show it to me then until like the time comes. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Our pre-order turnaround is generally about 6 months, sometimes more, sometimes less.
Right. I can't wait for that Legends in Half Scale Dr. Doom bust. I'm glad you guys went with that design. I think that's effing dynamite looking. I was trying to keep my collection more focused, and then you guys come up with something like that. And that's another reason why I was holding on to that Iron Man bust, because like I said, I'm not the world's biggest Iron Man fan. I'm more of a Captain America guy, even. Like, let's just talk Marvel for a moment. But then I was like, this Iron Man is so nice looking, and next to the Dr. Doom, like on either side of the TV, kind of like Dr. Doom and Iron Man is going to look awesome. I can't wait for that to come out.
Speaking of Iron Man, Zach, I saw I think it was Titanium Man that you guys were putting out.
Mm-hmm.
He looks
Marvel. It's a Marvel Select. It's going to be really big Marvel Select.
It looks great. Yeah. What is he made of? It actually looks like it's kind of like metal So.
They did a really nice metallic paint job on it, but it's a regular plastic figure. We don't do a lot of mixed media on the Marvel Selects. I can't remember the last time. I don't know if we've ever done a cloth, any soft goods or anything like that, and we don't usually do metal. So yeah, but it's a really good looking piece. I like the character. I'm a big Iron Man fan, like I said. So like one of my first issues was Stealth Iron Man facing off on the cover against Crimson Dynamo and Titanium Man. So I'm super excited for that release.
Yeah, they don't put out many of his villains in Marvel Legends. Even they don't really like Whiplash.
Yeah, Whiplash. Blizzard. I got my little Blizzard mini mate hanging out on my desk because I love the Iron Man villains.
Yeah. Oh, he's cool. Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
I think that's the reason why Iron Man isn't as popular in the comics, is because they don't really promote his villain, what do they call that?
Rose Gallery.
Rose Gallery, yeah, exactly. And they're not too bad. They just don't do much with them. Yeah,
they don't really hype them up. I mean, they're all, none of them are really like major powered villains. They're all like tech based. They're all, I don't want to call them pushovers, but they're meant to be defeated through technology and not necessarily through like big supernatural like powers and things like that. But Living Laser and
Whirlwind, right?
Force, Whirlwind, absolutely. I love Whirlwind.
Were you disappointed with the Mandarin and Iron Man 2?
Yeah, Mandarin is great. I love the Mandarin. Very different, and I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Mandarin going forward, because they're going to do that Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings, and I'm hoping that's going to bring some more Mandarin stuff back in and actually have like maybe even 10 rings, which would be really cool. It'd be cool to actually have 10 rings in there. Well,
they're mystical based, right? They're magic, the rings.
I want to say they're alien technology. I could be wrong about that. It's been a while since I read those old classic issues. But I want to say he got them from a spaceship or something like that. Yeah. But I remember he had his I don't know if he called them his fingers, but he had the 10 guys who he would give each of them a ring, and then they would attack Iron Man all at the same time. That happened in one issue that I had. I was a big Iron Man fan.
That's cool.
Very cool. Cool. Great stuff, man. Anybody else have any last questions before we wrap this up with Zach? Come on, now's your chance to forever hold your peace. Go out and buy some cool stuff. I know I'm doing it. Man, unbelievable. Great stuff coming.
Stuff looks great, man.
Thank you.
I wouldn't, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't say anything. I'd just be quiet. But like, I'm really like,
well, I knew you were gonna like that thing, dude. Anything that's Jack Kirby is like, the head turner for you.
He looks like the thing. Like he's not like he's like a depressed thing. Like he hasn't come to grips with what he's turned into yet. And because you have like a version of a thing that looks heroic and happy. You know what I mean? This is the this man, this monster thing. Where he's, still upset of the raw deal that he got from the cosmic radiation and still pissed off at Reed because he can't change it back and find a cure.
We have some really great designers like Caesar and Nelson and Joe Allard and Uriel Catone. And we have some really great sculptors, Gene St. Jean, Claiborne Moore, Alejandro Pereira.
Oh, Claiborne Moore. I know that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Claiborne Moore. He's an OG. He's great. Him and Gene do traditional sculpting, hand sculpting. And then we've got some great digital sculptors like Rocco Tartamella, Alejandro Pereira, Dave Cortez.
I know Rocco. I've heard that name a bunch of times.
Yeah. I know an artist named Vinny Tartamella. Do you think they're related?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if I know Vinny.
Okay. I got to ask around then. All right.
Nice. Zach, you're the man, bro.
Yeah, you are. Best chops in the business. I am friggin' jealous, bro.
I said, it's like, this guy needs to win the Wolverine Lookalike Award.
Alex Ross use you as a model from now on, bro. Put the hat on, the cowboy hat.
Yeah, bald Wolverine. There you go.
Old man Logan, bro.
Old bald Logan.
That's cool. Yeah, man. I just shaved mine last night, so that's why I wear the hat.
Nice.
But anyways, yeah, right. I'm out to you in a couple of days, Zach. I appreciate your time. You're the man, as always.
Thank you for having me, really.
anytime anything new comes out or you got something to talk about, I'll reach out to you. You can reach out to me, and we'll try to get together with the, I only promoted this like 3 days ago or so. So hopefully this will kind of pop off and we get some more eyes on the channel going forward.
Great. That's great. No, anytime you want to have me back on, I'm happy to come. Excellent.
All right. All the best. Rock on. And hopefully good news going forward. Guys, stick around in the chat. We're going to talk about wrap the show. He wants us. We're going to talk some Comicsgate stuff and some other things. So we'll get to that in a moment. Anyway, Zach, you're the best. All the best to you.
All right. Thank you, man.
Take it easy. All right. Good. What's up, Baz?
What's up, man?
What's up? Yo, it was good freaking show, man. I'm glad he was willing to give us a lot more answers than I normally see from other people too. I know that like a lot of these other companies are kind of like, oh, can't talk about that right now, or oh, it's like, why are you even doing these ask questions or interviews and shit? Like he was actually able to kind of give us some insight into some stuff. So I was happy about that.
Cool. And damn, I did not know he worked for Toy Fair and Wizard. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. That's really freaking
awesome. That's what old timers could rely on back in the day before the internets for our.
I was pissed when they canceled those magazines, man.
Yeah, probably still would buy them.
Oh, Soundwave 1 says, can you answer a question regarding Star Trek USS Reliant? All right, so when I write him the email back after the show, I'll ask him the question and try to address it on next week's show. I saw someone write Reliant in the chat, but I didn't know what it meant. I didn't put two and two together. I don't know Star Trek like that. So I will ask him and try to have an answer for you guys going forward. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell and shit in case you guys, you want that answer. That's the way to get it. Or you can join us on, put this stupid shit up. All right, it's Facebook, official Red Cup Review the Rebellion. If you got a Facebook account, go and join the official Red Cup Review the Rebellion. And we're always post answers. And this is like, the weekly events of me Baz. Anyways, I'll just keep that ticker going for a moment. All right, Baz. So, let's see. Zach can make a bonus head skip of himself for a Wolverine figure. Yeah, we're now it's Red Cup After Dark. All right, Baz. Before we wrap up the show, what do you want to talk about? There was a ton of stuff that was released. I don't have no pictures for shit. I was like so wrapped up in us just doing this today that
let's
go ahead.
Just I want to screen share this. Hold on 1 second. I want to just give a promotion to our boy, what's his name? Getzis, George
Peter, Gates. I'm not snapping on you, bro. In case he sees this, what the fuck, man? I super chatted you last week. Nah, he's cool, dude.
Yeah, George Peter Getzis is.
He gets it.
Is it showing up?
Yeah. I got it right on the screen. I already said it. There you go.
Saving everyone again for the first time. It's on Indiegogo. It's got 3 more days to go. And it's got how many pages?
120, I believe, per book. Yeah, they're oversized, hardcover oversized, or it's soft cover now, and you get like this big-ass spaceship too, right?
There you go. Get a free spaceship.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like an Enterprise meets like Mass Effect, mass relay wormhole looking thing attached to the back. Very cool.
Yeah, like Enterprise meets Deep Space Nine type thingy. It's 9 by 9 by 4 inches.
That's pretty big. That's like this big, man. That's pretty friggin' big.
We got 3 more days for that. So I just wanted to give a little promotion to George. George is a cool guy and a interesting personality. You read the first book? You read some of it?
I read like 75% of it. I just keep forgetting I have it on my phone, and I get because it's so long. It's one of those books where you gotta like you're reading and you go, wait a second, let me reread that again. So I'm a slow reader to begin with, and it's like light. It's weird. It's like it's weird how it's light and cartoony and Muppety, but the concepts are so high concept science that it's like, wait a second, I thought I was reading the fucking Muppets for a second. Now we're talking about like some crazy Mass Effectian type high science shit. So I have to like go back and reread the panel, and there'll be things like, because there's so many panels per page, like there's a lot of, it's one of those comics where there's a lot of writing. So someone will reference something. It'll go, remember when this was referenced? And you'll have to go back like 5 pages and go, oh shit, that's where they referenced that from. And
it's challenging. Then.
It's challenging reading, but it's high reading. It's good. It works out. Soundwave 1A. I don't remember ever seeing you on the channel before. I could look. I don't even remember my own friend's fucking James Hamilton's name. Okay, so if I don't remember seeing your shit here ever, my bad. So go join the Facebook page, and I'll get that answer for you, or I'll address it in a future show. I can't say when I'll address it. He has to get back to me. So I'd hate to string you along if you're like, yo, I don't give a shit about your Facebook page. I don't care about Red Cup. I just want to know the goddamn answer. I can't promise you when it's coming, but I'll try and get it.
Okay. Yeah, check this out.
There was the Asmus. Here, I'll show this real quick because this was just Asmus TOYS. This I thought was really, really nice. That just came out today for pre-order. Again, it's a little pricier than I thought it should have been, but then again, it has like that half rooted hair thing going on.
Yeah, Donnie, I'll be fucking with you in the chat at 9:30. Hot Tub Time Machine, right?
Hot Tub Time Machine. I reached out to the Toy Time Machine. He was like, yeah, what do you guys want to come on? I says, I want to come on your show. I says, we'll skip a week here at Red Cup. We'll come on your show, and then you come on our show like the following week or something. Like we'll do like a Worlds Collide thing like we used to do with
crossover
with Nick Knack. Yeah, we'll do like a crossover. All right, so Legless Battle of Helm's Deep. Asmus Toys half rooted hair figure that they just solicited today. I think it looks great. It's not 100% in the face sculpts. None of them ever really are for Asmus. They're mostly known for their weapons being die cast and their outfits being better tailored than Hot Toys even. And they are. Here is the diorama it comes with. Baz, are you getting this or am I just talking shit again? All right, you're getting this. Yeah. This is the deluxe diorama that it comes with, which is like the wall in Helm's Deep with a light up torch that lights up, and it's got like one of those orc ladders, like a half orc ladder, like coming up over the wall. See, here you go. How big it is. It's massive. Then one problem I have with Asmus is that their dioramas, as great as they look, are always so freaking big. Like they had the Door of Haberdashery from the Hateful Eight, and it's enormous, the diorama. And it's like, where am I putting this? But hey, look, if you got the room, they're really, really well done. So Legolas looks great, and I'm actually in the middle of watching the Two Towers right now with Captain Awesome. So it looks great. I don't know. Some people are not a fan of the hybrid hair, rooted, non-rooted. I think it looks good. I think personally they should have went with all rooted hair on this, especially if they were able to tie it back. The Gandalf, they had the best rooted hair any time ever, but that was like $320. This is $290. They're really pushing it with the price here, but I'm guessing it's because of that enormous diorama he comes with. But 6 scale figure coming out, and what's great about this, and I'm sure it's going to be delayed, as was Gandalf, but it says here that it's going to be released. That's free shipping through their website. I believe the release date is real soon, Q3 2021. So the release date for this is actually supposed to be like in the summer, June, July, August. So I like it when companies do that. They put something up for solicitation, and then you're going to pre-order it and get it within a couple of months. And even if it gets delayed a quarter or two, the latest you'll see it is probably January, which is nice.
When you getting that Gandalf, man?
I got him. I've had him.
Oh shit.
I just haven't had a chance to do a review on it. I have them upstairs on the I have them on my like the wine rack. I have them like up on the wine rack, kind of with the staff and shit. And he's not perfect. He needs, for the price point, the Gandalf, if I had to do like a super review, he looks amazing. He displays amazing. He's not as great as their prototype. He's not a $320 toy like he was up for pre-order. $350 he was up for. He's more like a $270, $275 toy. If I had to really like be super critical, there's problems with the base, with the things not picking him properly, but the presence of it is amazing. It's just not a $350 action figure, toy, 6 scale. But he does look really, really good.
Is he the gray? Gandalf the gray?
Yeah, it's the Gandalf the gray. Yeah, that's my Gandalf. I like the gray Gandalf, smoking the pipe weed, the big oversized hat.
You shall not pass!
Exactly. Yeah, the Atom scan looks really nice. It is. It's really, really nice. It's just not as amazing as they made it look. It's got its issues. I could do a whole review on how great it is and how you should order it, and I could do a whole review just tearing it to pieces. So I don't even know how to review this damn thing because I'm going to be like, yo, this is awesome. Look at how good it displays. And then everyone's going to say that it's the biggest piece of shit for $350 and it should have had this, should have had that, and then I could do a review like that, and then everyone's going to say, dude, look at how awesome it looks. So I've given up on the fucking action figure community. Like in reviews. I didn't give up doing reviews. I'm sick of the bullshit.
The action figure community is what you're saying?
I hate the community of like, why didn't you destroy the figure and say how much of a piece of shit it is? And then the other half is like, why are you destroying this thing? It's so nice looking. So I gotta find like that sweet spot of this is everything that's wrong with it, but it's not bad. Like I could sit here for 10 minutes and tell you everything that's horrible about it, and then you'll go, well, why the hell should I buy it? And then I'll go just look at it, and these are all the good things about it, And some people just like the guy you watch. Who's the other action figure reviewer that you love? That he's just like the fucking IGN of action figure reviewers,
Yeah, I don't remember.
But he just like tears everything apart, and it's like guys are just sick of his bullshit too. But a lot of people love him because he tears everything apart. But then it's like, how am I supposed to like my collectibles if all I do is go, this fucking thing sucks? Look how terrible this thing is.
I have a stronger will than most idiots, and
that's
his opinion. And like he's actually he helps me. Like he's showing everything that's wrong with the action figure that I could actually just be cool with. But I'm still aware of its imperfections.
Right.
And I'm aware that it could be better. But for him, it's bothering him and he can't enjoy it. But I'm less picky.
That's hard, man. When you review an action figure, like if I was to review something, right, that I really liked and I could see the flaws in it, if all I did was make a video just trashing it, now I have it up on my shelf and I'm looking at it going like, I've almost convinced myself how much of a piece of shit it is, even if it isn't. It's like this is a perfectly fine action figure, but I'm just trashing it. And now I got to stare at this thing. It's like, oh my God.
I hate people, bro. I hate them. And their opinions mean to me.
Oh, God. It is what it is, man. Comes with the friggin' territory, I guess.
Fuck everyone.
But,
anyway.
Yeah, so that's it. That's it for this week's show. I got to go upstairs and hang out with the kids. Pickups of the week. Yeah, I got another fucking story for you guys about that shit. Go ahead. Skeletor, show us your pickups.
Skeletor, they gave him an open mouth. I don't know, to make him different. I don't know. I don't know what that's all about, but listen, great articulation on these figures, man. Really, they're cool. And one of my first wrestling figures, man.
No, that's a really nice one too. The Fiend.
Yeah, Fiend. What's the story with this? What's his Wyatt Lantern?
I think that's the old Bray Wyatt. It's like him shedding his old skin or some shit, maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I like him. I like the Fiend. I like
characters in wrestling. They need more characters and less just guys in tights.
Yeah, this black guy in tights audience man at Baz. Yeah, people are the worst.
Right?
Okay, so my pickups of the week, something blew up in my face. I got the Tweeterhead Shazam superpower statue. I ordered it from Entertainment Earth. It I had on order from the 21st of last month. It shipped. No, I'm sorry, it shipped before the 21st of last month, and it was sitting in Jersey somewhere to the point where Entertainment Earth was like, yo, look, we have to issue you a refund for this because it's never coming. Like it's just lost. So they issued me the refund. They're like, forget it, right? Like, go get it from somewhere else. They were nice about it. Mm-hmm. So then I go online and I go to another website and I order that and I order the Blitzway Jimi Hendrix figure, right? So the Shazam comes tomorrow. The Blitzway Jimi Hendrix came yesterday. I opened it up. It's not a perfect figure. I just love it. It's going to go great with my my Freddie Mercury figure that I have, which is also not that perfect, but whatever, it is what it is. I just wanted a friggin' Jimi Hendrix 6 scale. And the arm is glued. The right arm is glued in place like this. So you can't move it. It's just stuck. So I stripped the clothes off of it, tried to work with it a little bit, couldn't get it to work, sent a picture into them, packaged everything back up, and I have to send it back to them. And I'm waiting for them to get back to me. So It's an expensive figure, man. The shit was $300. So now I got to like wait for them to get back to me to figure out whether they're going to give me a replacement or whether or not they're just going to say, send it back to me. So I'm waiting on that. Tomorrow, the Shazam comes in. I ordered it from the same company. Guess what shows up today? The Entertainment Earth Shazam statue. So now I have 2 Shazams. And one of them, the lady from Entertainment Earth today on the phone was like, look, wait for your other Shazam. I says, look, I can't return this other one. They're going to hit me with a restocking fee and everything else. So I have to send this, the statue back to you guys. So she was like, look, open up the new statue you're getting from the other company. If it's damaged, keep ours, send theirs back. If it's good, just send ours back. Don't even take it out of the packaging. Keep it until you find out what the other one looks like. So now I got to do this juggling of like sending things back, not sending them back, printing shit out, relabeling. It's just, if I just would have waited 2 more days, the guy was like, screw it, just go order from somewhere else. If I just would have sat on it, this wouldn't have been an issue. But it was selling out everywhere else, so I had to kind of move on it. The Shazam statue is pretty much sold out almost everywhere else. So, I have the last Shazam statue from Entertainment Earth in my house, unopened, that I'm probably sending back to them. Let's see. Rob, did you see the new Mezco Godzilla figs? Sent you a pic in Facebook Messenger. Yeah, I don't even have Facebook Messenger up right now. Mezco Toys. Pull this up. And me and Basil will look at this for the first time here. We'll do a quick little screen share. I got to get back upstairs, though, with the kids and shit. Laura's going to be like, every time you do a fucking show, it goes later and later. Okay. Round 1 box set, round 2 box set. Okay, I guess there's 2 different box sets with a bunch of different things in it. So we're going to look at both of them. Am I screen sharing? Yeah, it is. Okay, so 5 points. I don't give a fuck about 5-point articulations, but these are pretty nice looking because I like that they're old.
They look great, but what's the size, though?
They're small, 4.5 inches tall. They're the tiny ones.
It's got to be like at least 12 inches.
So you got Godzilla.
I can't be having them like fucking this size, you know? What the fuck?
Rodan. I don't know the name of these characters. Oh, here you go. Angularis features 2 interchangeable heads.
It's got to be bigger than my Dark Side, you know?
Yeah.
Come on.
See, they got King Ghidorah with 3 moving heads. Let's see.
Make them oversized. Make them large figures, man.
Well, they probably figured in order to give us everybody, they had to do it this way. Oh, Godzuki. He's not included in the set. Gotcha.
That's the original Baby Yoda, bro. Godzuki.
Yeah.
He really is, man.
You got Godzilla, Rodan, Angularius, Mothra. I don't remember Mothra looking like that. What is that, like Zygote Mothra?
That's like before he sheds that shit and becomes a friggin' flying moth.
All right, so it's just the figures. It's just the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 figures. No diorama. It's cool. It's cool. I'm glad it's made. Mezco pisses me off.
From your larger figures and stuff, it had to be its own little display.
Exactly.
Okay,
so Godzilla not included in this set. So obviously this set has King Ghidorah, Godzuki, with the Powerpuff. Hey.
It's cool. It's nice, but they look just like the way they did in the movies.
Yeah, they did exactly. These remind me too much though of Lighting Avenue action figures from the Umbrella Store.
The Umbrella Store.
Yeah, like the Umbrella stores on Lighting Avenue that would sell like backpacks, and they would have the team of United Action Heroes, and it would be like a knockoff Superman,
Mexican
Spider-Man. Yeah, like the Mexican import stuff. But cool. Let's see. The Godzilla's figures are really cool. Hey, look. Yeah, they are cool. They look cool.
They need to be
massive.
Yeah.
Why are we looking at Mark Jindrak's cock?
This is what I think of when you say dude in black tights.
Yeah. Really nice build, good looking guy, no personality.
With no
generic guy. Yeah. This is like the default on create a character.
Yeah.
It's like they are. They just run them off an assembly line of default create a character.
Boring.
Yeah, exactly.
Indrak. Indrak.
They don't even have a cool name, no gimmick. Oh, whatever. Anyways, I got to wrap it up, guys. I got to go running upstairs, get ready for work and all that other good stuff. Okay, so next week, what we're thinking of doing is getting maybe Zaid Comics on. So you hear upstairs, hey, get these fucking kids to bed. So I got to get out of here. But we also want to get Donnie. You're going to be joining us in a future episode. Basil and I were talking about that. We're going to do that very soon. So keep your window open because we want to get you on here. And next week will be a lot more shit talking, a lot less professionalism. We want to make sure our guests feel, well liked and comfortable here on the channel. And hopefully they'll come on for a future episode, stuff like that. So look forward to
Zach was cool, man.
He was cool, and he is very I know you didn't really talk all that much, but he was going on and on, pretty much answering anything you would what the fuck kind of question could you ask? Like he's pretty much answering look, this is what I can answer, this is what I can't, and here's how shit works.
Yeah,
So Kyle just shows what's his face just shows up out of nowhere.
Watch this interview, Kyle. It was really good. This dude worked at a friggin' toy fair. We didn't even know. We found out.
Yo, sup, Robin Baz? What's up? What's his face? How's it going? Love Kyle. He's got to come back on soon too. But those are more relaxed episodes. Next week you'll just get me and Baz talking shit for about an hour or so. Maybe Donnie will join us. Maybe we'll get the guys from Zaid Comics on here. Anyways, take care, brush your hair. Thank you for joining us. And remember to like the video. That really helps the algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell because I can't reach out to all you guys. I don't know if you're all user in the Red Cup Review, Rebellion, Facebook bullshit. So if I can't get to you through Facebook, at least hit the bell and I'll be able to catch you on a future episode. Thanks for joining us and we'll talk to you soon. Sorry, Kyle. He just got off of work and we're out of here. I got kids to put to bed. But I'll be talking to you soon too, Kyle. Thanks for stopping in, though. That's awesome. Take it easy and goodbye and broadcast.